All right, welcome back, everybody, to this year's last episode of Kureon. After this, we're going to be taking a break, and we'll see you folks again in the new year. So let's round this out, and in the new year, we'll have our 50th episode, which is kind of crazy. I think we're on like 46 right now, something like that. I can't quite remember.
Something like that. I think it's like 40, 45, 46.
45, 46. We're really good at this. So, but as usual, of course, I am Stuart. I'm your dungeon master, and this is the rest of my party who are all here again this week. Yay, all back in the same country. Mostly. Some of them don't live in the same country, technically. But anyway, look, it's been a day and a half. But we're here now. Yeah, Susie's broken a microphone. I've broken my body. Jamie's here. Before we get started, do we have any announcements?
The final episode of The Order, which is the Encounter Roleplay viewer game, is on Thursday at 10 p.m. GMT. We'll find out just what was happening the whole time. And it's probably George Clooney's fault, probably.
Probably. Did George Clooney ever play Dracula?
I don't think so.
Has he ever been in a vampire movie?
Never too late.
I don't know. I don't think
you should probably look that up before this week.
From Dusk Till Dawn, but he was in the vampire.
Oh, yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. Anyways, yeah, so you should tune in for that on Encounter Roleplay. Besides that, there's nothing else that I'm on for the rest of this year. Tomorrow, there is a very special birthday one-shot on this channel with Jason, Alice, Lydia, and Lara, and yours truly, and Owen, which should be fun. I'm getting extremely pandered to, and I'm so happy about it. So you should tune in for that. That's tomorrow, right here. Other than that, that's everything with regards to roleplay in 2018. I forgot what year we're in.
What's happening in 2019, Susie? The audience asks.
In 2019, I'm in so many things and I'm going to die. But primarily, WebDM, we will have the 80s vampire show, The Lost Girls, and some other things coming soon on channels you know about that haven't been announced yet that I can't talk about yet, but keep your eye out because your girl's going to be everywhere like a bad rash again. So as soon as I can announce them, they'll go on Twitter. And you'll see, so just follow me on Twitter for my announcements.
Yeah, and in case you're new to the channel or you didn't know, the birthday one shot is because it's Susie's birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow. Yeah.
So make sure everyone give her a happy birthday tomorrow.
And lots of money, yeah, preferable.
Just give us all money. Send us money.
I just broke my microphone holder, so yeah, actually, please.
Microphone holder, the technical term.
Yes.
Anyway, does anyone else have anything to say before this gets even more out of hand?
New Year, we'll also have the Vaults game in Games in Edinburgh starting up again every last Saturday of the month. We'll play in an actual haunted 18th century underground location from midnight till 4 o'clock, like reasonable, sane people do. And feel free to check that out if you happen to be up in Scotland.
All right, and the link for that should be in the chat.
I don't think I'll have anything for a few months.
No, but of course, you should go buy A Hat in Time, the game made in part by Dear Rogue. As well as that, though I do believe they're all finished for this year, you should check out all of the other games run here on this channel, including on Tuesdays, every other Tuesday. Susie is part of an amazing Witcher campaign run by Jason, who you will see tomorrow night, who is running a sort of continuation of an old Witcher campaign that he did in some ways. It's set, or is it in the past? But it's called Grains of Truth. It is a Witcher campaign featuring sorceresses, elves, and witches. And it includes Susie and Jamie here. And Jamie's character called Talon and his master called what?
Gallon.
But yeah, it's set between Witcher 2 and 3, so if that's sort of chronology, that's the kind of thing we're doing.
Yeah, so it's... if you enjoy The Witcher, check it out. Jason is a fantastic DM. And As well as that, Susie also DMs on this channel on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday as well, for Bite Club, which is Curse of Strahd, as myself, Lydia, Jamie, and Marissa slowly dismantle Susie's sanity. Yeah. By asking to open up all 44 tombs in the graveyard in Ravenloft Castle.
I'm so out of spells, and we didn't even do remotely the thing we were supposed to do in the castle.
Nope.
If D&D had filler episodes.
Next week is the beach episode.
Oh my
wanna
god,
go to
Strahd
any of
in like 1920s trunks, like
That's exactly where my
stripy
mind
ones.
went as well.
With the handkerchief on its head. Yeah. And Meryl with the Audrey Hepburn swimsuit on. But has to take her
If
nose
we're
off.
lucky.
And has to take her nose off so it doesn't rust in the seawater. Yep. So, you can have all of that to look forward to because we're definitely having a beach episode now. As well as anything else which gets announced, the best way to catch us all is on our Twitters, which are below our names right now. Well, not our names, our faces. I am really not with it apparently today. All right, well, let's get into a thing that I have far more control over, which is the game. More control over it than my real life. Come on, Susie, don't give me that look. Last week, our adventurers are beginning to wind down. They've realized how much of an ordeal the past few months has, and things are beginning to fray a bit in their minds. So they have spent some time here in the free city of Rivermeet, where they have been sorting to loose ends after engaging in a dangerous confrontation with a chimera sent in an arena, sent for them by an old nemesis of Ronan's, one Icarus. They came into a lot of money, so they spent a lot of time shopping and spending that money, or trying to not spend the money, as what really came to. But eventually they found themselves back in the magic item store, The Price of Glory, with their sponsor in the arena, Gianni Ben-Hali. And what? Did you not realize that was his last name? His name is Gianni Ben-Hali. Okay, that's
so angry. I'm so angry.
I'm sure I've said his last name. No?
You have, yeah, you have.
It escaped me.
Well, it hasn't now.
Nope.
Where you cleared him out of his entire stock of potions and many of his magical items besides. And after divvying up your spoils, we will not begin there. We will in fact begin the day before. As we will begin with Namari. As you left separately to the rest of your party, as you were being led towards the Temple of Kureon here within Rivermeet by the heretics of Kureon. This enigmatic group which approached you saying that they had had a prophesized dream about you and wished to aid you in the teachings of their patron deity. And so we begin now as you are led through the streets here. It's a warm day, but you can see over on the horizon line there are some clouds beginning to come. But nevertheless, the pace of your newfound compatriots is unslowed as they make their way through the busy streets here at Rivermeet. Eventually, they stop outside a small building, rather unassuming, not a grandiose temple, not even like a small chapel. This appears more like a home. It's wrought of brick, and it's 2 stories. It looks really unbecoming on the outside. There's no obvious signs. There are a few flowers on window boxes, just nothing really that special. They look well tended to, but they don't look especially divine. There's nothing about this entire place here which looks anything like you would expect given your previous knowledge of religion. It looks like someone's house.
By picking someone out here?
No, our status has a bit of discretion, and none of us have really been one for grand empty temples.
Right. Guess I should have called what with heretics and all.
Uh,
Why heretics? I mean, that if you're a temple and you call yourself is that me being ignorant? I don't know much about religion.
The Elvish faith believes Corellon dead,
He was fine.
killed in the last calamity which wrecked this world. We believe that he's not dead, that he has simply been recuperating his strength.
And he seemed fine when he gave me this, so unless that wasn't him, I don't. Do gods, are they like many people? Not people, gods.
They are.
How do gods work?
There's quite a few things to know, but I suspect you met one of his servants.
Right.
Corellon himself is an entity of quite vastness.
Right, so eyes melting and all that, if it's him.
No, a more literal sense. Corellon is a god is usually. Let us go inside and discuss.
Are you trying
this
not to
further.
call your god fat? Is this happening right now?
No, I was trying to think of a better way than to say my god is very big.
I mean, he's not the god of poetry, is he?
Yes, actually, he is.
Namari actually loves as well.
He's the god of the arts.
Right, we're working on that. Cool. I have a friend who can help you with metaphors.
I've never been very good at them myself. I'm a painter more than a poet.
Can't say I've ever done any thing like that. Not much time for that.
We all have our own arts. Yes, come, let us not dally outside here any longer. I think you will find our teachings less stuffy than you would probably
I
expect.
can make a really good tequila sunrise if that counts.
Perhaps it may.
Cool.
He opens the door, walks inside, and steps to the side so that he's holding the door open for you as he lets you inside.
I follow, still babbling nervously.
So the interior here is you're in a small sort of hall or landing, and it's just plain bare wood. There's a dresser with a couple of half-melted candles on it, and there is a door directly in front of you. It's the only door. And this room itself here is maybe 10 foot by 10 foot. With all like 5 of you in here right now, it's a little crowded. But Landiri goes, I will give you the honors of opening the door.
Right. Usually people do that when there's poisonous darts flying, but I kind of think that's not the kind of place. I open the door.
As you open it, the interior of the temple is revealed to you here. And you see at the center of this room is a large tree. Not dissimilar, but not the same as the tree you once saw in your maddened haze at the top of the mountains in the Barrel Wash Calderas.
I start salivating.
At its base is a small, where it grows from is a small pool of that same pristine, clean water. And the boughs of it reach up into the eaves of the temple here, as there are benches and easels and small mummers' stages, places to play music, arranged around this quite large room here. And it sits as an atrium. As you can see, there is a second story here, with which there is a balcony which rings this room, from which there are doors leading off into what you can only assume are bedrooms. And as you walk in here, you can hear a very surprising tone of music erupts from in the interior here. It's a very jazzy saxophone is playing from somewhere off in one of the rooms. It's not the plucking of soft harp strings and chanting of choirs that you were used to whenever you passed the Church of Pelor back in Downhill. And the interior here it's very peaceful, but not in a up their own asses sort of way. It just seems like more like a park than an interior of a temple.
Wasn't expecting that. Huh.
I think you might find yourself more amicable with our god than you were first expecting.
I don't mind gods, I just don't know them. The only gods that ever... Well, the only people and their gods that ever seemed to appear where I grew up were here to enlist, if you will.
We are in a position where preaching and prostrating are not something we are able to do. Those who join us do of their own free will and seek us out.
So what do you do all day?
We try and revive the ancient teachings of our god. We practice our arts. We go about our lives. We just happen to live here together.
So he's got a poetry and the light and just nice.
Of arts, the light, of peaceful nature, protection of the elves. He is lord of the elves. In ancient days, it was said that he was the one who brought wonder to the world. He was the father of the eternal spring. You will learn this in time. But for now, I would show you to where you would stay if you wish to stay with us, and
Sure.
then I would bid you do whatever you would wish. Stay the night if you would like to find some time to acquaint yourselves with your surroundings. You are free to come and go as you wish. You're not a prisoner here, or neither are you a student.
Sounds good. Do they have any form of uniforms like tunics, or is everyone just looking the way they look?
Everyone dresses the way that they wish, their truest selves. We don these robes when we're out so as to not draw suspicion.
Okay. I'll have a look around. Well, I'd follow him to the quarters, I guess, but then I'll just wander around.
And he leads you to your room, and it's fairly Spartan in there. It's nothing less than you've been used to. You haven't really been used to much. There's a wash basin, there's a mirror, there's a glass mirror. There is a bed, there's a small desk and table, and a small bookcase, which is currently empty. There is a flower vase, and in which there is a beautiful blue chrysanthemum.
You garden as well?
Yes. One of our members is currently a gardener. That is their art.
This is a really nice place. Where's the catch? I mean, how do you finance this? How do you...
Oh, we don't have a cat. Oh, you said catch. Sorry. There is no catch.
Right.
We are funded by a dignitary from within the Elven cult of Menacorifica. They wish to be anonymous, but they are on our side and would seek to see us gain as much knowledge as we can.
So we always knew about Kureon, but people thought he was dead.
After the last calamity, Kureon was believed dead, and over time, it was felt that the elves needed to move on, and so he was more or less expunged from Elvish teachings, and as a result of the calamity, much of the old teachings of him were lost during that, as much of everything was lost.
How did you guys start up again?
My forebear found in his adventurers, he was an adventurer, he found an ancient elven ruin, and within there was a number of tomes that detailed more about Corellon. And from there, he made it his mission to seek out more of these. And slowly over time, we have developed a cache of them, a large number. And part of our duties here is copying these, reprinting them so that they are no longer single volumes. It's easy to destroy something if only one exists.
Our bard might want to have a look at that, the one who showed an interest.
The over half-elven one.
Yes, he'll be happy to spread any stories if that's of any help to you.
Right now, we are not looking to spread stories. Right now, we are looking to have a story strong enough to spread without it drawing ire.
Sounds familiar.
It's one thing for us to spout our beliefs, it is another thing to spout them as truths.
Sounds reasonable. There must be a catch.
There is no catch, I assure you.
Insight check. I mean, I already know.
Yeah, sure.
Fine, but, nah, it's a 3 anyway.
Yeah, it seems truthful. Has no reason to be right now.
Okay.
To not be. You know what I mean.
So, why am I here exactly? What, apart from a dream, what do you want me to do?
Learn.
Okay.
You are possessed of a gift. You have been given a spark of the divine. And on the morning after I had the vision, a local street cat dropped off a dead magpie on the front step.
Wow.
And you don't often see a cat with blue eyes.
Yeah. I've had some. How
I thought you
do
would.
interpret the magpie? I mean, how much do you know about me? And I'm always getting a bit defensive there.
Very little. We saw you wandering the steps of a mountain. I saw you wandering the steps of a mountain in a dream. There you spoke to an entity of our Lord. And that was it. The color blue is a strong association to Corellon, particularly in the eyes, and so I'd thought that you would wish to know about the cat, as it seemed connected.
How would you interpret the magpie?
I do not know. That is something I have been puzzling over since today.
I would show off by putting the magpie out of the pocket dimension, but I gave my focus to gone. Yeah, there's a connection, all right.
All the more reason for you to be here.
Yeah. How much do you know about sort of Fae beings?
Corellon is Lord of the Fae. As such, we know much.
Do you know about a magpie-themed Fae being?
Of the Fae, there are many, innumerable for us to count. Perhaps we do, perhaps we do not.
I might want to have a look at that.
Of course. You have free access to all of our knowledge.
Cool. And that will be sort of the first thing Namari does. Like, no, at this point, no longer wandering around, but immediately researching.
Okay.
If she can in any way with books.
Yeah.
The magpie.
All right. So we'll come back to that, as you'll probably spend the rest of the day and probably well into the night looking through all of the Fae attributed tomes that the followers of Corellon have. And so the next day, our party exits the Price of Glory, having just divvied up and bought the vast number of potions that you now own, clearing old Gianni out of every liquid he owns. Choice of words was purposeful, given it being Gianni.
I know,
Yeah.
and I am perturbed. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I was muted for that. That's probably for the better. Yeah.
Well, it's glistening.
Mm.
So, what now?
I don't really know. What time did you say we're on at the minute?
If I remember rightly, last week you went to Gianni's. It was first thing in the morning you went to see Gianni, I believe. So at this point, it's probably like about 10-ish. Because you were in there quite a while, hassling over literally everything you owned.
Didn't we go to see the person at the temple first?
Was that today or was that yesterday?
Don't know.
No,
Were they
it was
not at the same day?
It was the same day. We
Was it
went
the same day?
early
Okay.
in the day to see the temple, and then we thought we'd swing by in the shop just in case we needed to go out and get something.
Okay.
That was it.
Yeah.
Because we were going to go to the abandoned dragon ruins and find the laboratory, but we didn't.
Thought there was going to be more to that.
Basically retracted the job offer.
No, we said, yeah, we'll come back to you with an estimate. Is what we did.
Ooh, did you pull air through your teeth? You went, it's going to cost you.
Kick the proverbial tires, you know.
Yeah.
We should figure out an invoice system.
We should, yeah. Especially if we're gonna start doing like work for hire like that. We should invoice. Tristan, you're the righty type. Make us invoices.
Okay.
If we start doing work for hire like that, given that your very first quest was work for hire.
Work for hire. Look, it's been a long 2 months.
We're taking it seriously now.
Yeah, we're professionals. We have a name and everything.
Now, printing doesn't exist, so we are going to need you to do the letterhead exactly the same every single time, Tristan.
Yep.
Printing exists. The printing press has been created.
That's slightly different to printing out a shit ton of invoices.
Yeah, but our business is all about the personal touch, right?
Yeah, which is
why am
why
I giving
everyone
myself
will be
more work? No, screw that.
hand calligraphied by Tristan.
Yeah. So,
So, we know
so in
what
that case,
Tristan's
then,
doing in his downtime.
what did you spend 3 months doing? Writing postcards.
Just constantly in a wrist brace from now on. Just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
We appreciate the effort.
How does Tristan lose an arm? It's tendonitis. Yeah. Back then.
I mean,
then
he'll
it was-
have a better story for it, but that's the
Yeah.
truth.
Back then, it was treated by amputation. So, in that case, then, if this was the same day that you went to the temple, it's probably a bit later. It's probably about 3 or 4.
I mean, we haven't seen anything of Namari today.
Nope.
Wonder what she's been getting up to. Not to shoehorn her back straight in, but
Smashed up, cut to the Mari surrounded by burnt out candles going through books. Feverishly flicking through tomes.
Rage
Probably,
reading. I
yeah.
never wanted this.
Sat in a circle singing Kumbaya, doing prayers and stuff. Gross.
bringing the ancient art of mixology to Kureon.
Oh my god, we'll open a cocktail bar. Screw getting a tavern, we'll do a cocktail bar.
This is literally the only form of art I can see Namari doing.
Carlon's cocktails.
By the way, Caroline is real.
Just at the bottom of every like drink or something, it just says you have been blessed.
Coralon lives.
There's free Chick Tracks from every
It's on the
cocktail.
napkins.
I mean, this
Slide
whole
it
thing started with liquids. We might as well keep going.
Oh, let's get off liquids.
And not that.
Speaking of liquids, it is raining still.
Oh. Huh. Looks like rain.
What up?
Did you just, looks like rain.
General
So,
Suburbia. Yes. Sorry, I'm
where
in a
would you
really
like-
weird mood today.
Yeah, you and me both, buddy. So, where would you like to head now? Or individually, where would you like to head? All together.
I mean, if we don't have any business together left, I'd like to go do the clothes shopping I outlined. Like,
Yes.
in the last session.
Yes, you can.
And
All
once
right.
I'm done, I want to drag it back to Gianni and see if we can make it like not tear the stuff we talked about.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
Right.
at least get a quote on it.
Yeah. Anything else, anybody? Let's try that again. Anybody else want to do anything? There we go.
I wouldn't mind checking out those bookshops that we mentioned at the end of the last session. So there was the Corner Shop and Warmer Tides.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Wouldn't
I'd
mind
tag along
checking
for
those
that
out.
actually.
Yeah, because Warmer Tides wasn't just a bookshop; it was an import thing. So
Yeah, Warmer Tides was an import store, not actually a bookshop. It had books, but it was an import store.
So yeah, I wouldn't mind checking those out at some point.
Okay, so you two are going to go check out the corner store and Warmer Tides.
I feel like we'll start with the Warmer Tides, so then you don't have to be dragged to the bookshop as well if you don't want to.
Excuse you for assuming I wanted to go to the bookshop. So
Well, fair enough. We'll start with that then. And
Just because I'm a barbarian means I'm not interested in books, Tristan?
no, I
Wow.
wasn't sure if the high shells would intimidate you.
Motherfucker, your knees are at my axe level, so let's not, shall we?
Tristan's
I'm gonna go with these two
To make
as
sure
a
they don't,
chaperone. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna.
to make sure they don't kill each other.
not going to survive this downtime.
Not going to make it to downtime. So, as you three part ways from Tilly, you make your way to find the best tailor in town.
Yeah, I assume I have to get like sized and stuff because there's no way Tilly's been fucking sized up for nice clothes before.
No. So, how much money are you devoting to these clothes? As a maximum, what's your budget?
How much would like a pretty good set of clothes be? How much would a named tailor here be?
A named tailor. You're looking for a named tailor.
Maybe not like top of the line, but something people would recognize.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So,
Because what Tilly would do is look for a shop that looks nice.
there is a renowned tailor here in Rivermead. And the name of the store is A Tip of the Hat, Jacobson and Jacobson and Sons.
Many sons involved in this project.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that sounds good. If needs be, I have that 500 gold jewel I can go sell.
That's true that you pilfered from the Zorn King. So this shop here is a very tall, crooked-looking shop. It sits on its own. It's not part of a terrace, though it looks like it belongs on a terrace, as there is no detailing or anything on the sides. But it looks like every individual floor was constructed separately, and it looks like a 3-year-old playing with Lego bricks, as each floor is slightly offset from the previous one, and it is all rickety and leans a good an angle of about 30 degrees out into the street from its top floor, which is 5 floors up.
Dang.
And the front has a sign which has been magically enchanted to have a person wearing what looks to be a trench coat with a beard, tipping a fedora on and off.
Okay. I had a
That's a
brief
bad.
look at the adventuring gear price, and it says fine clothes are 15 gold, which seems low. So I'll say like easily at least 50 gold.
So as you go inside here, The interior is a long countertop, behind which there is a series of small drawers, which are each labeled with different buttons, types of thread. And on one wall is a large number of different rolls of fabrics and materials. And behind there is stood no less than 9 people behind the counter. There are 2 older gentlemen, and then there are 7 sons. They're all almost exactly the same height, and all look to be almost exactly the same age. Though they are different in their looks, their physicalities. And they're all wearing immaculately tailored suits. And as you go in, they all smile very practically. And in unison, harmoniously, they go, "Welcome to Jacobson and Jacobson and Sons. We are the best tailors here in Rivermead. How may we help you today?"
Tilly just kind of stands there stunned for a second. This is maybe not the customer experience she was expecting on this fine retail day. And I guess goes over the kind of stuff I picked out, which was that really nice like waistcoat with black with the gold trim.
Yes.
The black pants, the coat with the similar coloring, nice breast buttons and everything, I think.
Of course, yep. And you know, as you talk to them all, they all gather around and they're listening to you, and you see like 2 or 3 of them are drawing up different versions of the designs, while others are looking at different fabrics, and they're all working as if it's all one person, but they're all doing different jobs. It's like a many-armed hydra here of Jacobsons and Jacobsons and so on.
Hydra of boys.
Exactly, a boy hydra. And within minutes, you have a full design with a variety of fabrics to choose from. There are at least 15 different button styles arranged in front of you. There are 18 different versions of gold thread specifically.
Yikes.
And you are free to peruse and pick the exact nature of the design you want. As the 2 older gentlemen there both punch out a price for you. And they politely present the price to you on a small silver platter with a mint imperial.
I imagine fabric would be the biggest impact on the price, right?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of prices am I looking at for those fabrics then?
So you see, and there's different fabrics, and there's like the usuals in there. You've got linens and silks and woolens. There's even velvet, which one of the sons has pulled out, was chastised about, but it stayed out. But beyond that, there is other ones. And you see there are a variety of fabrics there from creatures that you wouldn't expect. There is, including one here, which touts itself to be Pegasus hair.
What are we looking at for silk?
And the Jacobsons, the older gentleman, explained to you that there are 3 different varieties of silk here. There is common silk, but beyond that there is spider silk, and the third choice, they call it dark silk, but it still looks like silk, and they refuse to elaborate on why it's called dark silk and say that it is the supplier requested anonymity.
Is there anything different about it?
They explain that dark silk is tougher, stronger, less prone to tearing, and will reknit itself when it's teared.
That sounds good. How much would the alpha in that be?
That
might be.
With the finest gold thread and some lovely buttons, comes in total to 80 gold pieces.
That sounds okay for the decent silk. Because that means I probably don't have to get Gianni to enchant it.
Yes. They will explain to you that it is fully able to be enchanted as well, if you so desire in the future. And they actually state that it's slightly protective.
Ooh, hell yeah, I'll fucking take that.
Yeah. Mechanically speaking, it counts as leather armor.
Cool and good.
Non-magical leather armor. So that's 11 plus dex.
That's fine.
Which is opposed to 10 plus dex.
Yeah, I will happily make that purchase.
All right.
I assume it takes a while to put the... Oh no, there's 9 of them. Probably doesn't take that long.
They explain to you it'll take 3 weeks.
Okay. Well, I will make the purchase and leave.
And they all bid you farewell, produce hats out of nowhere. Each of them has a different hat, and they all tip them to you simultaneously before smiling with the glinting, perfect white teeth and bidding you all farewell, like the Von Trapp family.
I bet meal times work fucking perfectly in that family.
Oh, yes, they do. You know the Rube Goldberg machine in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? Imagine that, but with boys.
Yeah, I guess I don't have a clue where the others have gone, so I will go back to the tavern.
All right. So, the rest of you, you make your way. You're going to the bookstore, or are you going to the import store first?
Don't know, where did our argument settle us on?
We go to the import store first.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So the import store here is actually on the river itself, as it is a boat. The Warmer Tides is, in fact, what, to give it a real-world equivalent, it's a trireme. And it has this large sign on the side of it where the side of the boat has been opened up and a walkway has been put in and a set of doors. And above it, it has a sign which has a wave motif to it, and it has like this warm orange and blue coloration that's like blended between the two of them. And it says Warmer Tides. It is an entire boat, a big boat, a wall boat.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure Gun's never seen a boat this big before, I imagine.
No, Gun hasn't. The closest Gun's seen, well, you would have seen wrecks of them, like large boats in
Oh,
the...
yeah. But I haven't seen one whole.
No, you see a ghost version of one whole.
Yeah, the less about that pirate hellscape is the best for Gun, because, you know, that's why she lost her strength and got really mad.
I feel a pang of guilt, Tristan. Yeah, just a slight, for a second.
Tristan doesn't feel guilt. Are you kidding me? Tristan's not capable of guilt.
It wasn't my guilt.
It was the pirate's guilt.
Even still, Tristan will be like, what's this vague emotion that I've never experienced before in my life?
Now who's making assumptions?
I'm just getting this all out because I play a character that doesn't hate Jamie's character. So I have to get it out through Gun somehow.
Uh-huh.
It's a requirement.
We'll go into the shop.
So, making your way into the interior here, you see it's laid out in a much like a jewelry store fashion. In the center of the store here, there are a number of small pedestals with glass casings on them, showing off various different goods. Around the sides, there are shelves, some of which are like bucket shelves and have varieties of foreign fruits and foodstuffs arranged around them. There is an area which has foreign arms and armaments, which has strange-looking spears and blades, of which you're not really used to the knowledge of them. You see very wide-bladed spears. You see what I would call a pilum spear. You see long, single-edged bladed swords stored horizontally in sets of 3.
Fucking weeb. Swear to God.
And there are a number of what look to be the words going out of my head, like assistants, like shop assistants, that are here, that are cleaning and arranging things and speaking to various different customers here. But there are a couple of customers in here, one of which catches your eye as they're wearing a long sort of deep blue cloak over one shoulder that connects on this shoulder and then comes down diagonally across the body and goes and hides the other shoulder as well. That is trimmed in like bronze and has this like swirling pattern to it in slightly deeper blue. And they're wearing a plumed helmet, which they've taken off and holding under their arm right now. But at the counter, there is a person with slightly darker skin. They have very black, like raven black hair, which is slicked back. They seem to be male. They're wearing shopkeep's uniform, but their shirt in particular is like a sailor's shirt. It is striped blue and white, and they have an apron over the top of it. And as they come in, you go, it's good to see a new customer. Welcome to Warmer Times. My name is Demetrios, and I am the purveyor of this place.
It's great to meet you, Demetrios. As you say, when we've never really seen half of these things before.
Well, Warmer Tides knows not boundaries of faith nor border. It is a true store of the world, as they say. From everything from things that you find here in your realm of Calorim to across the seas, including my home, Izaros.
Mm. So does this thing actually sail then? It's like, because I mean the whole side of the ship opens out.
One day it sailed and one day it might again, but for now it is simply a store.
Fair enough. Do you mind if we have a closer look at some of the things you've got?
Of course. What is it you are looking for? With the large supply of different things we have here, it can be hard to find some things sometimes, especially if you're new to my establishment. Is there anything in particular you are wanting, or is it just a case of browsing?
Well, personally, I'm interested in books.
Yes,
anything I can learn from, really.
Of course. Is there anything specific you are looking to learn, or is it simply a case of perusing the covers and making your choice from there? They say judge a book by a cover, but sometimes I find that they look good outside, they look good inside.
That's fair. There's a little bit of the just browsing might pique my interest, but do you have any books on giants?
Oh, yes, of course. Giants are very common in my homelands, and therefore we have many tomes upon them.
Well, I wouldn't mind learning a bit more about them.
I will tell you the tale of when my brother once he slew a cyclops coming to destroy our village.
Wait. So you said what? Giants are common where you're from?
Oh, yes.
What kind of giants?
Oh, we have hill giants, cyclopses, etins, ogres. There is the fire giants that live in the volcanoes, and atop the mountain peaks, the frosts.
I just kind of look at Tristan like... Huh.
And it is said that below the waves there is another type of giant.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. We call him Paraphenius. He is a legend more than anything. I have a book about him.
Yeah, that'd be grand, that one.
Of course.
What did the legend say about him? What does he do?
He commands the tide and sky.
Oh. Does he perhaps control storms?
No, that would be the Stormcaller.
And what about the Stormcaller?
Well, the Stormcaller is a god. You know much of the Stormcaller.
That's card, right?
Oh, yeah, shit.
To you they call him God. To us he is Alexos.
Interesting name. Yeah, I mean, beyond books on giants and especially Paraphenius, was it?
Yeah.
Beyond him, do you have any books on, I don't know, maybe magics, histories, languages, perhaps?
By books on magic, are you talking about the kind that would include spells, or simply are you looking for treatises on the way magic works?
Both, really. Academically inclined both ways.
I can supply you with both of those.
Thank you very much.
And depending on what it is you're exactly looking for when it comes to spell books.
Spells of a ritualistic nature.
I can certainly help you with that. There are a great many places in this world where people believe in rituals. Therefore, they write them down quite a lot and find themselves on my boat.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, but as I said, beyond there, histories, stories.
I have a great book that you might like.
Oh, go on.
Yes. It is a history of Issarosan cooking.
Okay, you can tell a lot about our culture by the food.
You can. You learn about our wonderful foods, from our meatballs to our cheese.
I like both of those things.
All right, I will fetch those books for you. What about you, ma'am? You are most beautiful. You find yourself in my establishment with your beautiful friends. Tell me, is there anything you wish to put
just like every fucking time at this point? Why does this keep happening to me? Yeah, anything about? Do you have many dwarves where you're from?
In Issaros?
Yeah.
Yes, we have dwarves over there. High in the towering citadels in mountains, they forge great weaponries used by gods and men alike. This.
I'm like, fuck yeah, they do. Do you have anything about them, perhaps? I don't know. I'm just, I've never left Calrim, so it's kind of.
They're quite seclusive in themselves. We don't know much about them.
Really?
It is said that they only number a couple of hundred on the entirety of the continent.
Why? Do you know?
Well, the way I see it, they are too busy making themselves of fine crafts that they are too busy to, you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I get that, yeah.
When you work with cold iron all day, other things are not quite as appetizing.
Cool. What's your coolest weapon in here?
It defines what you mean by cool weapons. It is all personal preference. I would say to you, have a look around, see what you find.
All right.
But being an Issarosan, I would be mistaken if I did not direct you to the finest spears.
Go,
All
Cassandra. Go, Cassandra.
I'll check them out. Which is your best spear? Which is like the one that if you could show a spear to anybody.
I would show you it, but it is not here.
Oh.
Well, it is the spear of Issaros. The spear for which our country is named, the spear of its founder.
What's so special about it?
Well, it is a spear which is said to have slain the demigod which entrapped our people for 100,000 years. Give or take 1,000 or 100,000. The exact details are lost to history. As with many things, the mystery on it makes it more interesting.
And this was a real spear, because I've heard legends about.
Oh, it is a real spear. I've laid my eyes upon it myself.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Insight check.
You may insight check. Demetrios.
If I can reach my dice. Oh, I can bring you with me. This is an experience.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that was a 13 on the dice, which will bring us to 11.
Oh.
Oh.
He seems to be telling the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gun immediately is just like, massive eyes. What, really? What did it look like? What did it do? Who was holding it? Where was it?
Well,
Details, details.
No one was holding it. It is in a sacred temple within our lands. It floats off the ground of its own accord. I
assume like Ronan stood near me at this point, and I'm just like slapping his arm, like, dude, have you heard this shit? Where's this temple?
It is in Issaros. It is in the capital.
Which is? Sorry, I'm not from Issaros. I've never been there. Never even seen a map of Issaros.
It is called Capital.
Oh. Is it translated?
That makes sense.
It is translated, yes.
Yeah.
No, we did not. We speak Issarosan in Issaros. We did not name our capital.
Capital.
capital in Kureon. No.
Like, I don't know. Sometimes you gotta check.
So I understand as much as you do. Yeah. If you wish to know more about stuff like that, the best thing I would say to you would be to find yourself a ship and brave the warmer tides. There you see what I did there of my homeland.
I don't have a good track record with ships.
No, that is unfortunate. The sea is a beautiful place.
Is it? Because the last time I went on the sea, I got cursed by a pirate. And I lost, like, half my strength. And I couldn't do anything.
That does not sound like the sea, my friend. How many times have you been on this sea?
Exactly once, and it was shit.
Perhaps you do not have the best of luck in that instance. Then I would say try again.
We'll see.
Right. Well, is there anything else you wish to look at while you're here? As much as I enjoy the conversation, I am, of course, a businessman, and I have to urge you to buy things.
No, absolutely.
Unless you would wish to pay for this conversation, in which case I'll be willing to talk to you for the rest of the day.
I'm not that lonely, but thanks for the offer. I'll go browse, and you can deal with the big-hatted one with the big stupid feather. If I find anything, I'll come let you know, and I'll give you my gold.
Oh, of course.
I'll just like little salute and walk off and go find the sharpest, pointiest, biggest things I can in the shop.
Your friend is quite one-track minded, is she not?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have a saying in Issaros. A head full of spears leaves little room for bread.
I mean, she's really good at thinking about spears.
It does not translate as well into your tongue as I would have thought.
Actually, fuck you all. I went on a date. I've done more than you lot, so shove those spears up your asses.
You're not here.
This is all about you, not to you.
You feel gun scowl in your brain.
I mean,
you
he
still
always does.
feel men for ascetes.
Oh yeah.
So,
I'll feel that for the rest of my life.
So what can I help you to? You there with the bow. You have been rather silent since you came in. Is that a part of your mystique, or you just have nothing to add?
I'm here to look after these two.
I see that it is needed from the way they act. Apologies, my friends, but the way that you two act with each other, it is like lovers' quarrel.
More like siblings, if any.
And no, the siblings on Issaros, they act very nice towards each other. You act like two people about to fall madly in love.
Nah.
I see it. You might be right.
Yes.
Nah. That's not how that's going to turn out.
They will be enjoying the wine of each other's loins by the end of the year. I would put finest money upon it.
So
I'll take that fine money as a bet.
It is a shame I have no money on me right now.
Guess we'll have to buy something. So yeah, these books, to get onto a topic of conversation that's not that. So the people in Issaros have their own language then?
Well, of course. You do not think everybody in the world speaks one language, do you?
Well, no, but I know a few myself.
Divided up by race? That would be very strange. You think that every elf on this place speaks the same would be silly.
No, it's just a case of I've never actually spoken to anyone from Issaros like properly before.
Well, when you are speaking to me now, do I not sound like I perhaps spent some time speaking a different language?
Yes.
Well, there you go then.
I was leading on to say, I don't suppose there are any anything that you have that might help me learn potentially.
Have me?
Okay, well, I might be here for a little while, so...
Well, if that is your case, then perhaps you would consider me a private tutor.
Possibly.
Have one-to-one sessions over cheese and wine. We will explain to you the greatness of my country in all the forms of its language.
I'm happy with that arrangement.
And then he'll show you his spear.
Wait, but I have a ghost sword. That's.
Here, I will tell you first one here. For free, this word will come
Oh,
to you.
go on then. How rude is this one?
Right? If there is someone you do not like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you simply call them Tuvan.
What
It
does
is a
that
very
mean?
specific word in Issarosan. It is specifically a donkey's butthole.
Nice. It's very okay. There's a singular word for that.
Yes, there's a singular word for just that.
Is there a singular word for it in our language too?
What is that?
Tristan.
Is this your friend? Is this Tristan?
Yeah.
I like your joke. You're a funny one, even though you are not exactly most talkative. When you do speak, your words bear great consequence. You're a good friend to me now. You're a good friend to Demetrios. I tell you what, I'll give you both discounts. 10%. Yeah?
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for being such a Tristan, Ronan.
It's funny. You two is wonderful. So, we'll move on to books. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, so you wish to have books about giants, books about magic.
Yes.
You want that book about history of Issarosan food?
Yeah. Go on then. Why
All
not?
right then. Of course. Well, if you make your way over to shelves there, you will find them. It is in order. If you do not understand Issarosan, I will point you to the right one.
Okay. Thank you very much.
It is okay. It's been good to meet you, Tristan. I hope you're not too much of a Tristan.
It was nice to meet you too, Demetrios, and I hope you're also not too much of a Tristan.
Well, I hope not myself. I am certainly not a Tuvan.
Good. And I'll head over to the book.
All right.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have that book on food. I'm gonna try and make some.
Yeah.
I mean, my plan was to probably just get it for you because, like, cook.
I bought this for you.
I bought this so that we could all enjoy it. Yeah.
So, what are you looking for, Gun, right now? I had to struggle a second there to get out of Demetrius's accent.
I'm just looking for stuff that's like, I'm not really genuinely looking to buy. I'm just kind of marveling at stuff that would be foreign to Gun. So
Yeah, you're
like,
just looking around and then you see a spear and you're like, ooh, sharp,
yeah, anything that looks like weird to Gun. You know, anything that's like really super weirdly pointy or a weird shape. She'd be like, what the? Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, you see things like bladed rings. There's stuff there that looks like there's like stuff that looks like it should be thrown, but does not look like a knife or anything like that. There's axes which look very different to you that have got square edges and all sorts of strange weaponry. If you can name a weapon right now, you can probably find it here.
Sweet. So yeah, Gun's pretty much treating it more like a museum of like foreign weaponry than anything else. She's just waiting for these two to be done.
Yeah.
If there are nunchucks, I'm buying them.
Nunchucks, a pair of sai, a bow
there
staff. Let's pick up the katana. The Ninja Turtles are a go.
Let's go.
There are nunchucks available here.
Yep, get them.
Dibs Raph.
Dave's Mikey. You
Okay,
can't know.
so altogether, the 3 books that you're wanting here. So the books are 50 gold each, as they are handmade books, and the nunchucks are 5 gold. So that is 155 gold.
Best 5 gold ever spent.
So you now have a pair of nunchucks. They count as a light mace.
So which books did we say we found? The
So you found there is a book on giants.
Is that the one that has the stuff about?
That is the saga of Paraphenius.
Cool, because that was the one I specifically wanted
Yeah,
because
so-
it's the one that sounds most like what we want.
You have the saga of Paraphenius. You have there is a spell book from an unnamed source. It's not like a printed book or anything. It's literally was someone's spell book. And then there is a cookbook in Issarosan. And it's one of those cookbooks where it's like recipe down one side of the page, and then the other page on that spread is like explaining the history behind this food.
Oh, nice.
But it is in Issarosan.
Right.
which looks a lot like Greek.
Fair enough. Yeah, that kind of covers what I was looking for from this shop. I imagine the other things that I want to look for are probably in the actual bookshop, so I'll leave it there.
Alrighty.
So, how much are we handing over in total? 155?
155, yeah.
I will...
I feel like Susie's preparing to say something. As the microphone has come up. It's like, so. All right, so you spend 155 gold. You get your books. I will, after the session today, I will tell you which ritual spells are in the book.
Mm-hmm.
As I hadn't rolled one out, but you don't need them right away.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
All right. So, from there, where is it you're wanting to go?
And then I wouldn't mind going to the corner shop.
Okay, so the corner shop itself is a much more standard-looking bookshop. The interior here looks like a bookshop. It is a large number of shelves. It's not particularly well organized. It's very stuffy in here. It's very dusty. And the owner is a very stereotypical librarian with very thick jam jar glasses. He's very thin and very beady eyes underneath these very large spectacles. But there are a vast number of books here. So which ones are you looking for?
Again, history stories are always on the list. Just anything that sounds interesting to me.
Okay.
But I wouldn't mind looking to see if there are any books that would help teach another language, possibly Draconic.
Okay.
That's more of a back burner idea. I would like to see if there's any books on law. Or to do with how the empire is governed, just so that I can get a better sense of the mindset of the bureau.
Okay, yeah. So you find, as you've been finding throughout your entire travels, that any books on empire history are conspicuously absent.
Mm-hmm.
You can get some books on the history of the empire, but that would be very little in there that you don't already know.
Yeah.
From its foundation in the fires of the Acasian conflict to leading to the Mad King and on to now.
Yeah. I was just interested, what with this been a bit more of a freer city, whether or not there'd be anything else. But
yeah. Unfortunately, due to the length of time it's been since the foundation of the empire, they've had a long time to sort of book burn, as it were. You do find some manuals on the judiciary system, on the laws of Kaurim. The very thin text, thin font size, very dreary looking explanations of the law. It literally just seems to be books of laws. It's not like, law. It's not like the sorts of like a textbooks a lawyer would use to learn. It's literally just the law, the penal code of Kaurim.
I'd still be interested in reading it just so that I can get into the mindset of the people who might be like trying to work his way around. Like if they're going to try and pull the law out on us, if I can subsection B their asses, I'm going to do it.
Plus, you got to know the rules to break the rules.
Precisely.
You do. Yeah.
I'm just going to be circling, hey, loophole.
Weird bylaw from 300 years ago. Tick.
You can kill a Scotsman who's wearing a kilt at midnight on the 31st with a crossbow on the walls of York.
Why would you, though? Why?
It's because when we hate the Scots.
Good banter.
Also good banter.
Top bands.
Fair.
So,
We're English, Lydia. That's the answer. English.
I like how you're sometimes northern when I'm bitching about the English, and when I'm bitching about... Well, I'm not even bitching about anyone, but just fucking pick a side.
Well, that's the British through and through.
It's the Andy Murray paradox all over again.
I would be looking for any books about Moradin or the Divines of Moradin.
Yeah.
Or anything sort of Moradin adjacent.
Okay. You find a book which is labeled A Non-Dwarf's Guide to Moradin for Dummies. And it Do you know how the For Dummies books look?
Uh-huh.
Imagine that, but hand-drawn by a medieval monk.
Nice.
So there's going to be some weird margins in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet. I grabbed that and I'm reading that already before I buy it.
Yep. There's a conspicuous amount of like exposed genitalia in the margins of this.
Just like, I show it to like anybody around me, like Ronan or Tristan. I'm like, these monks have some freaky shit. Look at this. This got published.
They must get bored.
Right?
So.
I don't think I've, did they look like that?
I mean, maybe wherever they're from, whatever they've been doing.
That's... Ooh. Yeah, so I'll buy that.
Yeah. You're not actually going to read it, are you?
Yeah!
Oh, I thought you just waited to look at the funny pictures.
But also look at the funny pictures, look.
Yeah.
Gunn is an intellectual when she wants to be.
I say to Tristan and Elvish, she just bought a fucking picture book.
She did.
It's got words in it.
Yeah.
Words in it, you dicks!
She bought a picture book about the dummy's guide to her god.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's hilarious.
See, the funny thing is, while she would do that just out of sort of interest and irony, this is exactly the book Namari would need if she wanted to, because she forgot everything that was said to her about the accused gods in here, out there. It's like, yeah. Namari will take that book seriously.
Well, I'll save it for Namari to read, and also
Thanks.
we can laugh at the funny pictures together.
Oh.
Screw these guys. They don't deserve it.
I'm not there. I'm gonna move myself again.
So you find that book, you find these two books upon, which is the complete penal code.
So that's a set of two, yeah?
Yeah. And they're not small books.
No, I wouldn't imagine they were.
And they're in font size 8, if you were to give it a real world font size.
Yikes.
Nice.
Yeah. You're talking like 2 Brandon Sanderson novels, but in A4.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 months is not long enough just for those.
If you were reading them at a rate which wasn't make you cry on a daily basis, yeah.
Crying would be a luxury. It would stop my eyes from being too dry, and I could carry on.
So yeah, both of those all together, and the one that you want, Gun, here would come to 150 gold. Again, 50 gold.
For the whole lot, including the murder.
Oh, sorry. It wouldn't. It would come to 170 gold. Because Demetrios gave you a discount.
True. I'd also like to inquire, it's a very specific subject.
Okay.
But do they have any books on magical communications and how magical communications work?
No, there is no magical books here.
Okay, cool. That's interesting.
And if you ask the storekeeper, they'd say that you'd have to go to somewhere that deals in wizards to find most of those.
Okay, no, that's understandable.
I'd imagine that if I looked for anything to do with like dwarven histories or like lineages or anything like that, I wouldn't be able to find that in a non-dwarven place.
Yeah, true.
Because dwarfs go dwarf.
Dwarves hoard.
Yeah, they keep that
Yes.
stuff. Cool. Well, I shall walk out with my picture book.
And I'll walk out with my law.
Law.
We can throw the book at him!
If it's big enough, literally it's a weapon.
Yes.
Book 'em, Gunno.
What I'll do is I'll take them out of the bag, got a giant ape, one in each hand. Boom, boom.
I can't believe we made it through that entire conversation with a book that has a bunch of penises drawn in it and nobody making the connection to penal code.
Oh, I'm so disappointed in us.
I'm genuinely disappointed in us. Oh.
Oh.
Can we just pretend that we were better people and we
Yeah,
chose not to?
Let's rewind a bit. Oh, penal code.
Put it in post.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
put it
fine.
in post.
Chew on
Sounds like
head.
fun stand.
Shoe on head or not, or pre-recorded? No. Stevie looking around for a shoe.
Too far away.
So, as you finish buying your books, where else would you like to go?
That's kind of it for my plans for the day.
Yeah.
For today,
had-
that's me. Yeah.
I had exactly 80 gold out, so I didn't need to break up that diamond, but can I sell it on the way home anyway?
Yeah, sure. You just want to pawn it on the street, or are you looking for a fence?
I'll go to a jeweler that will give me like a price.
Okay, but what kind of jeweler?
I mean, I was in a decent part of the city anyway, right, near that trailer?
There is no decent part of the city.
True. I'll go to one. Is there any that I might know are like legit more than the others, having been in the city before?
The question being is that would Tilly know of legit jewelers, or would she purposefully go to non-legit ones?
Here's the thing, Tilly knows how much that gem is worth.
Yeah.
So I would shop around until I got one that got pretty damn close to that.
Okay, so in the end, you find a jeweler that would sell it to you, buy it from you for the amount, for the 500 gold.
Okay, right.
So after spending some time.
Had I not known that, I could have got very ripped off. So it's a good job I did.
Yes. Like with the sapphire. So, eventually, I'd imagine you all find yourselves back at the Sanctum as the evening begins to draw in.
Mm-hmm.
And we will return to Namari. As you have been searching for any information you can on the Fae, and specifically any notion towards one known as the Magpie. Your findings have been conclusively inconclusive in a lot of ways. You've learned a lot about the Fae, though. You know about the courts of the Fae and the two overarching courts that preside over all other courts, the Seelie and the Unseelie, and their realm of Arborea. You know about the elvish connection to the Fae, where the elves are ancestors to the Fae in a strange way, in that they were never descended from the Fae, but they were born from the Fae. The Fae created the elves is how the legend goes, as a lot of the teachings here are very elvish focused. You would learn that the Seelie court and the Unseelie court were originally one. However, age-old conflicts that are lost to time split them at the beginning of creation as we know it in the current age. The Seelie court believe themselves bringers of light, laughter, and happiness, whereas the Unseelie court are the opposite of that. And they are towards summer and winter specifically, as the common interpretation of outside of D&D of the Seelie and Unseelie court. You know that there are many Fae which attribute themselves towards an animal specifically as the way that they present themselves to people, especially mortals, and that the animals that they present themselves as some are often linked to their personality, as Fae are nothing if not very personality-driven creatures. And it is also very openly explained that the Fae, for all of their wiles and powers, are creatures. They are people. They're not it's not a force, they are an entity. And it is very clear on that, the fact that they are also not immortal. Well, they are immortal, but they're not unkillable. Functional immortality, that's it.
Nothing about the magpie itself.
Nothing about the magpie itself. There's not much really on specific Fae, apart from detailing the leaders of the Seelie and the Unseelie court, none of which, like Oberon, Titania, or anything, bear any resemblance to what you know of the magpie.
My head hurts. I think I did learning.
And by this point, it's probably like Well, late on in the day. You've been at this for a long time, and it's late on in the day at this point.
I'm like looking around because I feel like I have to ask for permission or tell someone that if I want to leave, but I know there's no real formality here.
No one's been watching over you the entire time there's in this library. Every now and again, one of them would come over and offer you food and drink.
So is there? I'm
Definitely Lembas bread. It's absolutely Lembas bread.
I'm gonna get a random person who's also been studying. So, there's no curfew, right?
No, you are free to come and go as you wish.
This is a strange place. I'm gonna go then. If anyone asks, you don't even know who I am. I'm going. Bye.
It's been good to see you.
Alright. And everyone seems very happy and very chill, and I'm very suspicious of it. But I did a learning, and I feel like this warrants celebration and or talking to someone about the learning I did. So I'm going to go see the people I actually like most of.
All right. So you make your way back towards Cutter's Sanctum, where eventually everyone sort of by osmosis finds their way back there. Unless there's anywhere else you'd like to go before you... Anyone would like to go before we get there? No? All right. So the interior here, there is a couple of people. You've seen a couple of faces before at this point. You've been here a while now. But Minfrasetti is behind the bar as usual. She looks scary as usual. She glares at you all as you come in as usual.
I very pointedly don't make eye contact with her.
Yeah.
Because Gun is actually terrified of Minfrasetti.
I give a really nice warm smile walking in and I'm just ready to start reading things.
She gives you a nod, and you're like, you kind of feel like that's the extent of her positive emotion, is that nod?
I very hurriedly go put most of that gold in my room before going back down.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get robbed.
I tend to run in and say, could you go and get a pint for me, please?
A pint is slammed down in front of you in the table.
Oh, that's worse. That's somehow worse. And I just sort of very sheepishly pay her.
She's gone.
Oh!
She's back behind the bar again.
She's so fast.
She teleports. There's something wrong with this woman. In the best way possible, by the way, in case she's listening.
There's nothing wrong with her. There's just something wrong with everyone else.
Yes.
You catch a glance out of the corner of your eye, and you just see her arms are folded, and she's looking right at the table.
Oh God.
I think she's grand. I don't know.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
She runs a tight ship.
So yeah, Gunnar will be sort of not looking at Minfrasetti. I'd be sat with my back to a wall, so she can't teleport behind me again. And I will be not making eye contact with her. I'll be facing away from her and just enjoying my drink.
The way that this tavern is laid out, every wall faces her.
Oh, fuck. Okay, well, I'll just be looking at my pint then and not her.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that was my stomach. And so as you're all there in various different ways trying to avoid the eye contact of Minfrasetti, eventually Namari opens the door and comes in.
I come in and I just basically drop on one of the chairs with the hair even wilder than usual from all the head scratching and...
So what's God like?
I don't know. I think the term that comes to mind is stoned. Everyone's really nice.
Oh.
I'm really happy, and they do just whatever they want to do, and there's people painting, and drawing and singing. There was a saxophone player.
Those don't
What?
sound like priests.
I have you know that saxophone was absolutely playing Careless Whisper.
Nice.
Of course.
It's the only thing that
There is only one
Yeah.
saxophone song.
I had a little look around. I was looking for pews, and I was looking for scriptoriae, place to write books in, and sort of, monks going meh, 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 praise Kureon, blah blah blah, and it's just like a bunch of hippies.
it sounds like I've been religious this entire time.
I
didn't
reach
it?
over, I take Namari's hand and look her dead seriously in the face. You've joined a cult.
I think I did.
I mean, they both thought Kureon was gone for a long time, right? Maybe they just forgot how to worship.
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell them how they're supposed to worship, because this is better.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good actually.
Yeah, if we start going in correcting them, it's like, actually, it's 9 stars, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, that stars thing is weird. I didn't tell them yet.
Everywhere that you looked in there that had Coralon's iconography almost showing the lower amount of stars.
What was it with the stars again? Was that the children? No. I
They're
didn't pay attention. I was kind of possessed at that point.
They're other gods, right? They seem ones that have been forgotten about, like Kureon.
Wouldn't know if they've been forgotten.
They seem pretty jazzed about Kureon. Should we not tell them there's more?
I was researching. Guys, I was researching. Nobody made me. It was just, they mentioned the magpie, and I wanted to see if they knew something about her, but they didn't. But I learned things about Fae and the court, Seelie and Unseelie, and my head hurts, but it's a nice hurting.
Tristan has a book about the court here.
I have 2 books about God. Whip one of them out.
No, the
Just
court.
open a random page.
Court.
Court.
Oh, though that does remind me, we do have a future job for a guy at the Temple of Cord. Well, quest thing to do.
We need to help him with a ritual. Is
Yes.
kind of how it goes.
They're going to pay us to go fight things.
Yeah, they're going to pay us to go to somewhere to do with an old dragon's lair and find a laboratory.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I can come with you.
So, you know,
Can't
like
do it
just an
yet,
every other
though,
Tuesday thing.
Because
You know?
he was like, go do it now. And I said, we don't have Namari, we're not at our full strength. And he was like, oh, well, fucking go away. I don't want you then. I'm like, nah, we'll fucking do it. But we just all have to be together, otherwise we'll die. And he's all like, you don't have what it takes. And I'm like, honest to God, I was this close, but you'll be proud. I restrained myself. I didn't hit him, but I did sass him back, and he seemed to actually like that. And our job offer got deferred instead of cancelled. So, yeah.
That was very diplomatic.
Also, he's like a 7-foot super buff ripped dude with glass swords.
Also that. He was
Glass.
very cool.
Glass swords.
2 of
I
them.
mean, it kind of looked like they were made of glass, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The scabbards at least were.
Well, I think I can go whenever I want. So, yeah. But I should probably look into Kureon.
I mean, I'll help you if you'd like, because I'm interested as well. What with having the whole vial of water thing.
Yeah.
Figure
they
out
do
whether or
have-
not they can be told about it.
There was something about spring, and they have a spring pond place with a tree that reminded me a bit of what we saw up on that mountain. You know, the one you drowned me in.
With the tree lady.
Good times.
I was helping you get uncursed.
No, yeah, you did, and that
Yeah.
was great. I like drowning's great when it gets you uncursed.
That's it though. Like, if they have a nice spring, why don't we just give them that water?
Don't we have to
We
make
made
a
the-
new
yeah.
nice
I'm-
spring?
Well, I know I, for one, definitely made a promise So
I didn't tell them about it yet because I wasn't quite sure what to expect, and maybe they were going to take it. But I think they're good people.
right, well, I didn't say anything because I was still a bit uneasy with them as well.
And maybe they want, like, for another temple, you need that spring water.
They're good elves, Brent.
13 out of 10. Would worship again.
Well, they're like a fringe, like, religion, right? Like, there's long
Garland,
since gone.
yeah, sort of creator of the elves and everything, but then he got lost or died
Maybe-
during the calamity.
Maybe if you told him about it, you could be like a Caroline missionary, and then you start a new temple somewhere with that water. Or you give it to somebody who's, like, you know, chosen of
Do you have to?
tree boy, and then you make it. I don't know. Look, I'm just.
I don't know. It's
Brainstorm.
I was there for a couple of hours and I kind of didn't really bother with Kureon, which I feel a bit bad about now.
Wait, you
But-
were there and you didn't even research the guy you're supposed to be there for?
No,
Priorities. They'll tell you.
you know about the magpie thing, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, a cat with blue eyes brought a dead magpie to the doorstep of the temple. So that kind of had me a bit worried.
Huh. Didn't Namari's eyes get changed a bit? Like, a bit blue?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
colour
it's all
was
about
this cat,
blue
by the
Corlin
way?
blue.
Was this a ginger cat?
Was it a ginger cat? Did he say it?
Didn't say the color of the cat.
I bet it
Didn't
was
say
a
the
ginger
color of the cat. I'm not a cat. Pushing the glass closer to the edge of the
No. Stop that.
But I thought I just needed to get out for a bit. I didn't find anything on the magpie, but the more I know about her, the less I like her.
Yeah, well, seems like a bit of a dick. I mean, she made you touch a thing.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, I got a really cool book today. You want to see it?
Yeah.
I immediately flipped to one of the, like, genital drawings.
Mhm.
Jesus Christ.
It's like a chimera on the end of it.
Yeah. Don't it look... Yeah.
Like proper 13th century, like, priest drawings.
I mean, it's all about Moradin and stuff, but, like, this was the selling point.
Is that a horse playing the violin in the margin here?
I think it is, yeah. If you flip a few more, there's a guy fighting a snail. It's great. There's a guy blowing a trumpet up another guy's ass. There's all sorts in here. These monks were on some shit. Let me tell you, when they were making this book, it's great.
Oh, maybe that was similar monks to similar shit to what these monks are on.
Oh, maybe. Who knows with monks, though? You know, they're up to some wild stuff. Secluded alone in those monasteries, you don't know what they get up to.
I feel like the Pellar people back home in Dalneln were just boring. Maybe that was...
Yeah, I mean, all they did was, like, live in that... Oh, wait, we probably shouldn't talk. That time, you know, Tristan killed one.
I did no
Blew
such
up the
thing.
tower.
What?
I said that out of character, by the way. Gunn doesn't revel in the fact that Tristan killed a monk.
Was I there for that?
Yeah.
He used fireball on the like at the side of the tower, and it like
Oh, the tower in this... Yeah, like...
That was a
Mhm.
mess.
yeah, those Pellar monks were pretty boring in the tower. You know.
I mean, you
Remember
don't
that-
know what they were drawing.
After you killed one of them, you then stole some of their stuff, if you remember rightly.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I mean...
I think I still have the sword we stole from that tower.
I think you have it, or does Tristan have it? It's the vicious longsword.
We got
I
two.
have it.
There were two because was the one that I have that had the lock or the key on it with
That was the one you found in the sewers.
That-
I
yeah.
have the vicious longsword.
For a heroic heist to look so good, there has to be down points.
Yeah.
That's stop you from suffocating the death tax. That was fine.
But I'm going back there tonight, actually. I think I'm gonna...
Have you got quarters there?
Yeah. It's nothing special, but it's good. Got flower.
Oh, you got a flower.
Blue flower, of
Ooh.
course. Yeah.
Blue's a theme for you.
Yeah.
Just
I never thought it was
noticed.
my color, but now I have no choice. And I look up at the little the hairpiece.
And
The
I
hair.
kind of look you dead in the eyes. I'm like, you know about your eyes, right?
Do I know about my eyes at this point?
I
It's not like
believe that's already been
I
discovered.
think it came up last time I was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep saying that. I haven't.
They're just a bit, I don't know, startling.
Yeah.
I've also just figured out both half elves have been dictated colour by magical means.
Wait, what color were Namari's eyes previously?
I think sort of greenish.
Because if they were brown, don't make my brown eyes blue. So. And with that bombshell, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. We're all just going to go get a drink. Recommend you all do the same. Get up, walk around a bit, go get yourself a cuppa, and we'll see you folks again soon. Was that a go or a no? Well, we're back. So there we go.
Wow.
We're really good at this tonight.
Professionals.
It's the last show of the season. Yeah. Last show? Is this a show? I hope this isn't a show. It's a really bad show if it is.
Show?
Last
Season?
session.
It's a show. I regret to inform you.
No, the season of like the. It's not even the winter season.
Back to the wire. That's what I thought you were going to say.
The wire.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. My microphone stand's broken now as well, so please bear with us all. But we're back here now. Hope you all had a good break. I hope everybody here had a good break. And no one was involved in deep sea fishing accidents.
I tweeted the rest.
Oh dear.
Jesus.
Jesus won't help you, Aaron.
Oh dear, dear.
Christ.
So, welcome back. When we left, you were all discussing the events of the past couple of days within Cutter's Sanctum here, the bar you have come to frequent.
So, if you want to come over and read things, they are happy for you to come over and read things because apparently there's no rules.
I like these guys.
I know, I can't, that's not how religion works, right?
Probably not.
But, yeah.
I mean, you're kind of really asking the wrong table, to be honest.
Yeah.
You said saxophonist, so like I'm interested. So
Yeah. That's weird. But yeah. You can come over anytime and I've only been there for a couple of hours. But they're nice people. And if they can help with that, and I cast Sanctuary on Gun.
Oh.
Because I did that, and I don't quite know what that is, but it's not the magpie. And if I can do that, and I touch the sort of shimmering shield around her, that would be cool. That would be helpful.
That would be cool and very helpful because, like, as much as I do like fighting, getting hit is like one of my least favorite bits of the fighting.
No magic in my pub.
Drop Sanctuary. Sorry.
What's
Just
different
hear it
between...
in your ear. You will be.
Who are you?
And Minfrasetti's over by the bar still.
She's the boss of the pub. And she's already pissed at me because I put an axe in her floor.
Right.
mm-hmm. We're putting together the funeral now because eventually, like, she's gonna kill Gun.
Yeah.
I turn around and
Don't smell her.
She nods at you.
she seems fine.
Mm-hmm.
She could teleport. I swear to God.
I have never seen Gun like this. I love it.
I know, it's great.
It's all fine, dear. And no, I don't mind chat because that's a warlock thing. But a pat Gun on the very tense shoulder.
Yeah, very tense shoulder. Like,
And I'm like, just wow, Jesus Christ, you have never sort of. This is like concrete.
Doesn't exist.
I was about to say this concrete.
Granite,
This is.
It's fine woven granite.
saltstone.
Did I go straight from Orzammar? It just.
I suppose you have some questions.
So you need to relax. I think I just broke a nail on your shoulder.
I am impressively buff. Yeah, will happen.
So what were you up to? Books? Just books?
For me, yeah. Went shopping, got a few books. Oh, we got a lot of potions and things as well. You know, the guy that put us into the arena and what have you. We kind of cleared him out of potions.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can I have one? Because I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a couple of health potions, and I don't know why, but I just have a feeling that you'll probably want this one. I'll pull out the ice breath one.
Blue, really?
I just had a feeling.
Thanks.
I mean, do you not want to breathe ice at people?
if you put it that way.
Exactly.
Tristan,
Yeah.
Rossetti has appeared next to you.
Yes.
Are you looking for books?
Yes, I am indeed looking for books.
She places a piece of paper in front of you. Go here in the morning.
I look at the piece of paper and say thank you as I do.
It has a street on it. Like a street, like an address, basically.
Yeah, okay.
But it's weird because addresses in Rivermeet are strange.
Like,
Go
I
to this
turn to Namari
vague
as this happens.
location.
I'm like, did you see that?
Yeah, she's very helpful.
She puts another pint in front of you again.
Look, that's nice. Thank you. Say thank you, Gun.
Thank you.
She
Okay.
nods at you.
It's somehow worse than the glass. I don't know why or how it is, but it's worse.
Are you okay? I feel the temperature.
I don't know.
So yeah, if you wanna come hang with the hippies, I think you're allowed. I'm gonna spend some time there and see what the thing I just did. I'm not gonna do it again because maybe she is scary. I don't know, but I'll find out what that is, and then we can go do the glass sword thing, I guess.
Yeah.
You hear a small bell, pating, pating, and Rossetti goes, "Last orders."
Would you like anything, Gun?
Nope, I'm fine. I've got a fresh drink. I'm good.
Cool.
Why are you all picking on me right now?
I'm not picking on you.
No,
I'm not
because
picking on you. I just thought
usually-
if you wanted a drink and didn't want to go up yourself.
No,
I'm not
usually
touching you.
you don't make yourself such an easy target. Usually, dear.
Look, it's been a good few months. It's been a lot.
I'll protect you from the evil, evil bar person who gives you drinks and
She's not evil.
is helping with books.
I just cross my arms and just head desk.
As your head comes back up again from the head desk, you look and Rossetti is stood behind Namari and is just glaring down at her.
So,
What? Are you okay? What? Just what?
Just badge.
Okay, I turn around.
No one's there.
Hey, Namari, do you have spare rooms at this place? Can I crash at yours? I'm scared of this place. I'm afraid I won't wake up tomorrow. She's gonna murder me in my sleep. I swear to God, Namari, I've done nothing wrong except maybe put an axe in her floor and like ask for table service when apparently there isn't any, but there is some because she's bringing me drinks. I don't know where I stand. I think I'm gonna get murdered.
She puts another pint on the table.
I feel like if she was gonna murder you, she would have done it by now.
Mm,
She would make you pay the tab first, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna murder her?
There's no sound, no response because Rossetti's not in the room.
No, she's not going to murder her because she specifically said we're not allowed to fight in her bar. So that's the rules.
I'm
And you,
not
I reckon it
lie
wouldn't be
to
much of a
her.
fight. It wouldn't be much of a fight either, I reckon.
no, it wouldn't. Because I've seen her with that sword and she just stands there and I'm pretty sure I could be like 6 times as strong as I am and it would be nothing. Like I'd blink and I'd be dead. Because that woman is terrifying.
Or, and I wait until a gun takes a sip. Or she's poisoned all the drinks you've had.
I just sort of,
She's a dwarf. She'll be fine.
yeah, actually, yeah, it's fine. Poison's nothing. Gulp, gulp, gulp.
I like that moment of doubt, though.
Yeah, just like that pause of, no, wait.
Hey, Gun, make a constitution. No, you're not.
Do you do this to me?
Well,
But thank you all for your support in my trying time. It's good to know I have friends I can count on, you bastards.
It's
Good
fine.
night.
Your memory will live on forever. I will make sure of it.
So
And
carve her name into the table because you might get in trouble for that, from what I can gather.
No, I wouldn't do anything. So, yeah, no.
as the night begins to wind down and Gun continues to remain in fear of the completely amicable barkeep, you all retire to your various different rooms or other abodes as the day comes to a close. As you wake in the morning, once more, you've had a long rest. Gun, you're not dead.
Thank God.
There is a bill under your door, for the floor.
Yep.
Yep,
Fair.
550 gold.
I mean, you have that other 5k somewhere.
Do I?
You
Oh
have
yeah,
the
I
other
do.
half.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Oh shit. I was carrying it. I will. I'll take out 550 gold from that,
Yeah, okay.
and I'll just leave it on my bed and write "sorry" on a little note. I assume it will be collected.
As you make your way downstairs, when Frassetti catches your eye, Gun. Do you have my money?
Yeah, it's on the bed.
What's the bed going to do with it?
I just turn around and go back upstairs and get it.
For the rest of you, she prepares a wondrous meal. It's scrambled egg, there's toasted bread, there is thick cut, salted pork. And there's even a plate for Gun. And she adds extra pork to yours, Gun,
Oh yeah, worth it.
and puts a pint down in front of you.
I will make
Oh.
my thanks.
What's next, Raz?
Well, I am gonna go hunt down some more books, I suppose. Well, that's my plan for today, anyway. Other than that, I don't really know. Maybe go over see what Namara is up to with the totally legit cult religion.
Tilly, you're from around here, right? Or here adjacent?
I'm from a good distance away, Gun.
Oh.
Like half the continent.
Yeah.
You knew this place.
I mean, I've been here before, but I've been a lot of places before.
Do you know if there's any, when we went to Downland, there was the dwarven, not Downland, was it Downland? Was the dwarven embassy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you went there and there was the dwarven embassy. Is there anything like that here in Rivermeet?
Do I know there's any embassies still?
There's no embassies if there's no country.
Not really. The way the city kind of works, that isn't, really any countries to have an embassy from.
Oh. Or is there anywhere that you would know from the last time you were here where dwarves would hang out?
Do I know of anywhere that dwarves hang out?
Not particularly, no.
Oh.
Not really. It's not a place that I would go to.
No, fair enough. Well, that's what I'll be doing today.
Minfrasetti is next to you, Gun.
Good morning, Rinfasetti.
Good morning, Gun. Kara Zakaran is only a week's travel from here, so many dwarfs do not stop on their way. As such, there are not many of them here.
Great. And is there an easy way to get there?
If you follow the Glint March, yes.
Cool. Are there carriages and stuff that go? A service you could pay?
No.
Huh.
They would have you walk.
Or I could take Captain Cole and Pimento. Cool. Well, I'll look into that then. That'll be my deal for a little while, I think. Check that out. See what's going on. What about you, Ronan?
I think I'm gonna just walk around the city for a bit, see if I can find somewhere that I think would be pretty good for us to settle down. Somewhere that we could probably get a place. See if there's anything that might be empty that could be reclaimed or bought out, so there'd be not a lot of building involved, or maybe we just have to build somewhere fresh further out into the city.
Get 2.5 kids and a dog. Yeah. Season ticket to the Mets, you know.
To the Patriots.
Ooh, New England Patriots. So.
But other than that, I have like a few things that I want to do, but it's like all very it's not going to get done in the next few days, I'll put it that way. I'll be around pretty much, but if you need me, you know, you find me here.
All right. So each of you begins to split apart. But there is one last thing we must do today before we bid you all adieu. And that is, we have another bookstall to go to. So, Tristan, begin making your way through town, following the directions of Minfrasetti. Is anyone going with Tristan?
Yeah, I'll tag along.
Yeah, all right. So Tilly's going with you. As you're making your way through the city, you find yourself in one of the many squares here. As this place is an open plan city, it ends up having lots of small plazas that are created just from gaps between buildings. And in here, you see a red-robed, very elderly wizard who is performing small tricks to children.
Correction, performing small tricks to children and Tilly.
A familiar-looking red-robed, very old wizard.
I thought so.
Not Razmatazat, no. This is the one you saw performing tricks to children in Downhill.
Can't remember, was I there for that?
You were the one that approached him.
Yeah.
You were the only one that spoke to him.
Because I'm just trying to remember that whole section of what happened, because I know there was an issue with certain characters eating certain food.
Yes, that was when Gunn had the terrible poutine.
I'll kind of stay and watch for a little bit, kind of wait for the set to kind of have finished, or, you know, for it to have cycled through a little bit.
You see he's telling a story, and it's, you know, a bunch of heroes are fighting against what appears to be like a lich. And in the end, the heroes win and they beat the lich, and there's cheering and everything. And then the scene fades away, and the children are like, oh, and the old man's like, I'm very old. You must give me a bit of time between performances. Run along, you'll be back soon. And one of the children is like, I'll knife you if you don't start again. And the old man goes, oh, very funny, and sort of ruffles their hair, sort of pushes them away.
It seems like a more rowdy crowd than I last saw you.
Oh, Tristan, right?
Yeah.
It has been a few moons since I have seen you.
It has.
What brings you here?
You two know each other?
We spoke before in Downhill, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. It was.
I only know of your name as I've heard of your exploits.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why we're here, I suppose. You know, life is a great adventure, and we have to kind of, you know, follow it. So.
Yes. I'm just here as I was in Downhill, looking around, reacquainting myself with the places. You know, it's been a while. I never gave you my name.
You didn't, actually, and I've been racking my brain this entire time thinking, am I just a terrible person?
I'm Antari.
Antari?
Yes. You may call me Antari, at least.
Well, thank you. I will. I was actually sent here, surprisingly enough, by someone else. I was looking for a bookshop, actually, and I was given this particular location. I wasn't expecting to find you.
To be clear, this was on the way to you going there.
Ah, never mind. I wouldn't have said that then because that's totally bullshit. So how have you been since all that? How I can't remember. Did they leave Downtown before we did?
You don't know.
How long did you stay in Downtown for? Because we left not long after I actually saw you.
Not that long. I've just been wandering around the place,
I'm just curious as to the state of the place.
I don't know. It's been a while. My memory's not the best,
Well, I'd just given how certain things are, I'd be careful going back.
All right.
A power vacuum and all that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, potential political strife.
Oh, that's terrible. Never really got into politics myself. I always said there's two things that don't belong at the dinner table. Your feet and your politics.
I might have to adopt that myself.
Get a centrist asshole on my side.
No, aren't you a lovely little child?
Sorry for saying I'd knife you.
It's all right. It ruffles your hair up. Does Mummy and Daddy know you're out here?
Is he being earnest?
He seems completely earnest from what you can see.
Antari, this is actually one of my traveling companions.
You're traveling with a child. Well, you get younger every year, don't they?
I'm 22.
You're 22. Oh, good heavens. I'm very sorry. I best recuse myself of this conversation, I think. It's been lovely to see you again.
You too. Has everything been going okay? I feel like, I don't know. Your performances are very similar to what I used to put on, actually. So I'm just very...
Oh, really? Well, it must explain why we keep meeting. You know what they say, birds of a feather flock together.
They do indeed. They do indeed. So what stories were you telling the kids this time?
Oh, just an old tale about the heroes defeating a lich. The bit I don't tell them is that they failed to destroy the lich's phylactery and the lich later murdered them all in their sleep.
Yeah, that doesn't really make for the best ending at their age anyway.
No.
Well, hopefully there might be some more recent tales to tell.
Oh, perhaps. If I hear of any good ones, maybe I'll put them in.
Well, keep your ear to the ground for the curse breakers. That's all I'll say.
I can't keep my ear to the ground anymore. I'm much too old to bend down that far.
It was an expression.
I know.
I know you know. Well, it was great seeing you. I mean, if you'll be in town any longer, I might bump into you again. Maybe we could collaborate on a little performance together. Keep them sated for a little bit longer.
Oh, actual fact, I'm leaving. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Oh, where to? If you don't mind me asking. You never know. We might bump into each other there.
Wherever the wind blows, my young friend, wherever the wind blows. Is it not a bird's gift to go wherever they choose?
As the crow flies, as they say.
As the crow flies and the pigeon squawks.
You don't really hear that side of it very often anymore. I suppose it's an old saying.
I'm a very old man.
Oh, a wise man.
Oh, you flatter.
Comes with age, you see.
Now, best get going, you whippersnapper. You'll grow roots being here any longer.
Well, we don't want that now, do we?
No.
Anyway, it was nice seeing you again. And I'll sort of politely bow my head and then start heading off.
All right. You see, he just begins walking in another direction from you. Now, the bookshop. As you make your way there, there is a house. Not a store, no sign out front. There is a house at the address you were given. It is a small, quaint cottage. strangely almost completely boring in every way. Nothing about it is extraordinary. Like, to the point where if you hadn't been told where this one is, you would not even pay attention to its existence beyond the fact that it was blocking your way from walking right.
Well, I suppose I'll approach and knock on the door.
All right. As you knock on the door, there's a moment of waiting before the door is unlatched and then unlatched, and a couple more times locks are unlocked before the door opens, and you see stood there a very elderly-looking elven man.
Good morning, sir. I was actually sent here by a friend of mine.
Good morning. Good morning, my lord. Please, do come inside.
Your lord, sorry?
Common elvish greeting.
Sorry. I didn't really get that side of the upbringing.
It is all right. Come inside. I will make you tea and we will discuss the book you wish to buy.
Yes, thank you very much. And I'll walk in.
I will follow suit.
The door is closed in your face.
Dang.
She was with me. Sorry.
Very loud cough.
I apologize. I will let her in now.
Sorry. I didn't want to be rude.
It's all right. So, gestures off to a room to the side. Please come sit down. Yeah. You see inside, this place is very lavishly presented in deep reds and golden hues with mahogany and strong oak furniture. There's big wingback chairs in this room here with tall bookshelves full of innumerable tomes. There's a fireplace which roars with this warm glow to it that illuminates the room, and you can see as the light scatters off one wall from a crystalline whiskey decanter which is sat by one of these chairs. And he gestures for you to take a seat in one of them.
I shall do.
I sit down and lean over to Tristan, like, are all bookshops like this?
This isn't so much a shop. I reckon he just lives here, and Mr. just kind of pointed us here.
Brings you over a teacup.
I gladly accept.
Gives you one as well.
Thank you.
So he sits down opposite you. You see he places a small pair of pince nez on his face, steeples his fingers, crosses one leg over the other. So, which book is it you have come to buy?
Well, I wasn't actually really told what books you have. So perhaps if I describe the sorts of things I'm looking for, maybe you'll have a better understanding.
If you must, be quick about it, though.
I'm interested in stories and history. The history of this land would be very interesting if it wasn't all wiped away. Books on magic, books on giants, books on ways to magically communicate, because I have a few ideas. That's more of a theoretical thing personally. Like, I'm working on a few things in my head.
I have a question for Stuart. So way back when we first met that Kureon, did we find out what it was? Do we know that it was a Kureon?
No.
Okay.
Oh wait, yes, it told you it was a Kureon.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I think Tilly pipes up a second as well. I was like, do you have any books on... looks at Tristan for a second, what she thinks. I think it was called Kureons?
Yeah.
He takes a sip of his own tea. Here's a small clink as he puts it back down. That first one I can do.
Histories.
For the Empire. This is the cup to the side, stands up, walks over to a bookshelf, and pulls out a very small book. And hands it to you.
I'll take it. Have a quick look at it.
Both of you wake up the next day in your beds.
What?
Annie?
I'd like to quickly get up and check all my shit.
But that's where we're going to end tonight.
Ah.
So we'll find out.
Book hungover.
Yeah, book hanger. Yeah,
It was the tea.
it was the tea.
Tristan
Oh,
finds
it's
out
tea.
that he
Never
paid
drink tea. Tea is bad.
$1,000 for one book.
Drink nothing but tea for 2 weeks now. I'm done.
It's bad.
Drinking tea right now.
And we won't see Aaron for weeks because they drank tea.
I'm drinking one ingredient of tea. Water.
Are you going to drink the rest later, or...?
I'll eat the rest.
Just imagine
Yeah.
Jamie shoving tea leaves in his face.
This is
Washing it
jumping
down with a little bit of milk.
Oh,
I don't even have sugar, so I can't even make it better that way.
What, just eating a teaspoonful of sugar granules?
what a way to end it for 2018. Jamie drinking deconstructed tea.
Some tech bro in Silicon Valley's probably made that. Deconstructed tea.
No, they've invented a handy bag to keep your deconstructed tea in to make single portion drinks easier. They invented tea bags.
Just like how they invented the underground fridge. That was the most recent one I've seen, the underground fridge. It doesn't require electricity.
I saw one invent tents once. I think that one was good.
I love the one where it's like the bodega, with nobody manning it. It's like the vending machine. You invented the vending machine.
Good job.
But what if we had group transit out into Silicon Valley for people to get to their jobs? All in one vehicle. That seems like a new concept.
Yeah. But anyway, enough of us dunking on Silicon Valley. It's so easy to do so. Thank you for joining us and the wondrous barkeep Min Frassetti, who continues to be far more than I ever expected from her. But yeah, that was the end of 2018 of Kureon. We had our first year this year. We've had 9 levels, and by the time the players come back, I'd imagine, given the XP they'll get from their downtime, they will be at 10th level, halfway there to level 20, and we'll see where the story goes from there. As you're getting into the higher levels now, things are beginning to ramp up. Your backstories are sort of starting to get to the point where they can't be ignored anymore, and there's some strange things afoot in the world of Kureon that you might just have to deal with. So, yeah. And, of course, thank you to everyone that watches. We know this isn't the most usual of roleplay streams. It's literally just us here playing a game as we would normally. You guys just happen to be there. That's really all there is. We still goof off as much as we would normally. So thank you very much for everyone that tuned in. And if you did tune in and if you have any favorite moments, let us know in the chat. Let us know on Twitter or anything like that. Love to hear anything about that, whether it's jokes we've made that aren't even in character or anything like that. If it's your first time being here, there are like 45 episodes to catch up on, but we sort of arrange things into kind of arcs, I guess would be a good way to put it. But the same characters, different stories. Imagine it like a book series. You can pretty much catch up on it in the 3rd book after reading no books previously. So now's actually a good time to start watching. Wow,
And we ended on a stewism.
A stewism?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to call it from now on.
Okay,
A
good.
meandering metaphor.
Meandering metaphor. Yep, you'll learn very quickly that my metaphors stay not in the same place. So yeah, that was Kureon. That was the first year of our adventurer's tale. It's going to be probably at least another year and a half until we're done.
Dang.
Oh God, stuck with these lot for another year and a half.
I like how you make it sound like a threat.
Ouch.
I know.
What?
That's another year.
It wasn't meant to be. Am I still doing my Memphisetti voice?
It's the arms slightly folded.
Just
Oh, God.
residual fear. fine.
Yeah. I've finally made a character that my players are scared of. Or one of them at least.
It's not even a villain. It's a fucking barkeep. I'm so scared of her.
You know, it's something every DM aspires to, is to actually make a villain that the players are scared of. I haven't done that yet. I've made to make someone that they're scared of, though. Baby steps.
Baby steps. Look at
Baby steps. But yeah, thanks again for enjoying this first year with us. When we come back, we'll have our 50th episode a few weeks after we come back. As we said previously, we should, not going to put it set in stone completely, have a surprise for you when that happens. But aside from that, thank you very much for joining this story with us. And we will see you folks in the new year. So happy holidays, happy new year. Everything that you celebrate, if you celebrate anything at all, please have a great one this festive time of year. We'll see you after it. Don't get too drunk on New Year's if you drink. And if you don't, go to bed early.
Bye,
That's
everyone.
right.
We'll see you in 2019.
It's your D&D mum here to tell you to do good things.
We're going. Bye.
Weird uncle.
Bye.
Do what you want. Do what you want.
Yeah, get wasted.
Be gay, do crimes.